Which means
Yes,
of
ma'am.
noble promise.
Correct. You know your stuff. Okay.
All right. Who gave you that name, and how do you think it shaped the man you are today?
I'm a Babalawo, and my mom, when I was born, I got that name, fresh.
Of course, these statements by Michael B. Jordan sparked an online debate, and some Christians started warning others to guard their spirits and avoid consuming content like that. The implication of this is that Yoruba spirituality, and by extension African spirituality, is being painted as demonic. So let's talk about that. Did you know that Christianity is the most practiced religion in Greece? And that hasn't stopped them, or the rest of us, from enjoying Greek mythology. We grew up watching Hercules, reading about Zeus, Poseidon, and Medusa. Percy Jackson was a global hit. Nobody said it was demonic. It was just entertainment, mythology, pop culture. Similarly, many of us love anime. And guess what? A lot of anime is deeply rooted in Asian folklore, Shinto beliefs, Buddhist principles, ancestral spirit. But again, we don't cancel those, and we do not pray after watching Naruto. So why then is it that when it comes to African mythology, especially Yoruba spirituality, people suddenly panic? The same people who romanticize Norse mythology like Thor, Loki, are the same ones that are very quick to demonize Orishas. Let's call this what it is: colonial conditioning. It is not God who told us that our ancestors are evil. It was colonialism that told us that. It was missionaries that told our great-grandparents that their culture, their religion, and their ways of life were dark, backward, and unholy. Now, don't get me wrong. I grew up Christian, so I'm not here to convince you to build a shrine in your house or abandon your Christian or Muslim faith. It is possible to know your history without worshipping. It is also possible to celebrate your culture without compromising your faith. Two truths can coexist. When I was growing up, I was hearing stories about spirits that live in trees and rivers. I remember some movies about Yemoja, some songs about Shango, and these stories shaped my imagination as a kid. A lot of young Africans home and abroad are struggling with an identity crisis, and they don't even know it. We wear Ankara, we eat jollof rice, but deep down, many of us don't really know who we are. We don't know our stories. We've erased ourselves because we're trying to become modern or godly. But how can you move forward when you don't know where you're coming from? How do you tell your story if you've been taught to be ashamed of it? It's not too late to learn. It's not too late to ask questions, to read and to explore, to embrace the richness of your culture without fear. You can love God and you can love your heritage. If we don't own our story, somebody else will, and they won't tell it right. So let's stop viewing African spirituality through a lens of fear and looking at it through a lens of truth, because it's not just history, it's a part of you.